The internet practically combusted. One minute, Cardi B was basking in the glow of new motherhood. The next, the rumor mill was churning out headlines wilder than a roller coaster. Stephen Diggs, the football star, had apparently put a ring on it. Not just any finger, mind you, but that finger, the left ring finger. Cue the collective gasp heard round the world. Now, Cardi, ever the queen of calculated reveals, played coy. Her team issued a swift denial to TMZ, dismissing the sparkler as just another piece of bling. But nobody was buying it. We've seen Cardi's moves before. Remember the secret wedding to Offset? Months went by before we even got a glimpse of the dress, let alone confirmation. She operates on her own timeline, revealing details when she's good and ready. And this time, the timing felt perfectly suspicious. Enter Offset, stage left, radiating the kind of bitter energy only a scorned ex can muster. The man was not taking this lying down. Sources whispered of threats to stall the divorce, preventing Cardi from legally tying the knot with Stefan. It was messy, predictable, and oh so Offset. This is a man, let's not forget, who publicly declared Cardi's new baby his, despite the obvious implications. He later backtracked, claiming his account was hacked, but the damage was done. The message was clear. Offset wasn't just heartbroken, he was determined to make Cardi's life a living hell. But Cardi isn't one to back down from a fight. She clapped back, accusing Offset of harassment, hinting at receipts that could humiliate him. "Motherfuckers do anything for attention," she tweeted, "and it could get real nasty with just one upload. Leave me the F alone." It was a warning shot, a promise of retribution. And trust me, when Cardi B promises receipts, you better believe they're going to be explosive. The tension was palpable, a thick, suffocating cloud hanging over the entire situation. You could practically taste the animosity, the years of resentment simmering to the surface. This wasn't just about a broken marriage. It was about pride, ego, and the desperate need to control the narrative. Offset wanted to paint Cardi as the villain, the one who moved on too quickly, the one who dared to find happiness without him. But Cardi, armed with her wit and her unwavering loyalty from her fans, was ready to rewrite the script. And that's when the bomb dropped. The rumor that made the internet collectively choke on its avocado toast. Cardi was allegedly about to expose Offset for having threesomes with Quavo, his cousin Quavo, the very foundation of the Migos, crumbling before our eyes. It was a scandal of epic proportions, a betrayal that would make even the most seasoned gossip columnists blush. The allegations painted a picture of a twisted dynamic, a blurring of lines that defied all logic and decency. The immediate reaction, of course, was disbelief. Could it be true? Were Offset and Quavo really engaging in such activities? The internet detectives immediately dug into the archives, searching for clues, for any hint of truth in the swirling rumors. And what they found was a tangled web of cryptic lyrics, veiled references, and a whole lot of unspoken tension. The play cousin defense was immediately trotted out. They weren't blood related, so technically it wasn't incest. Okay, sure. But let's be real, the optics were still atrocious. This wasn't about genetics. It was about loyalty, respect, and the unspoken code of brotherhood. You just don't mess around with your supposed brother's girl, even if that brother isn't technically family. Then came the pry allegations. Offset, already drowning in a sea of bad press from his infidelity, was now being accused of sharing a woman with Quavo. And not just any woman, but allegedly Quavo's girl at the time. The video of Quavo and Pry, looking a little too cozy for comfort, resurfaced, fueling the firestorm. It was a tangled mess of relationships, betrayals, and blurred lines that made your head But here's where it gets even juicier. Remember Quavo's lyrics in the song Messy? BF my dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing. You went the gang, you should have said it. We would have blessed it. For years, people scratched their heads wondering what he meant by Sweetie wanting the gang. Was it a reference to some sort of initiation? A hidden meaning we were all missing? Now, with these new allegations, the lyrics suddenly clicked into place. Had Quavo been hinting all along that Offset and Siti were involved in some sort of open relationship dynamic, one that he was initially down with until the rules were broken? The idea that Offset and Quavo allegedly had an understanding, a freaky situation gone sour, was almost too wild to comprehend. This was no longer just about a messy divorce. It was about the disintegration of a brotherhood, the unraveling of a carefully constructed image. The Migos, once the kings of the trap scene, were now exposed as a group fractured by ego, betrayal, and a whole lot of bedroom drama. The breakup of the Migos had always been shrouded in mystery. Was it about money, label disputes, Creative differences? Quavo himself vaguely cited loyalty as the reason for the split, but nobody could quite put their finger on what that meant. Now, it seemed the truth was finally coming to light. Sources whispered that Quavo had discovered Offset and Siti's alleged affair, and that it was the ultimate betrayal. The fact that Offset had apparently gone behind Quavo's back, engaging in something that was previously agreed upon as a group activity, was the final straw. Takeoff, bless his soul, seemed to be caught in the middle of it all, desperately trying to maintain the peace between his uncle and his supposed cousin. He stood on loyalty, he proclaimed, but it was clear that he wasn't privy to the full extent of the drama. He just wanted his brothers back, but the damage had already been done. Cardi, watching from the sidelines, had apparently seen enough. She had been holding on to this information, waiting for the right moment to unleash it. Offset had pushed her too far, and she was ready to expose him for the hypocrite she believed him to be. The internet braced itself for the fallout. Would Offset deny the allegations? Would Quavo weigh in? Would Siti be dragged into the drama? One thing was certain, this was about to get a whole lot messier. The silence was deafening. The internet held its breath, waiting for Offset's inevitable response. Would he deny everything? Launch a counterattack? Or would he simply disappear into the shadows, hoping the storm would pass? He chose the former, but with a twist. Instead of outright denial, he went with the classic fake news defense. A carefully crafted statement appeared on his Instagram story, denouncing the allegations as baseless rumors spread by bitter exes. He claimed to be focused on his music, his family, and moving forward, blah, blah, blah. It was the same tired playbook, and nobody was buying. The problem with Offset's defense was its utter lack of originality. He offered no evidence, no alternative explanation, just a blanket denial that rang hollow in the face of mounting evidence and speculation. It was a weak attempt to control the narrative, and it only served to further fuel the flame. Quavo, meanwhile, remained conspicuously silent. His social media feeds were scrubbed clean of any references to Offset, Migos, or the drama in general. He was clearly trying to distance himself from the situation, to protect his own image and brand. But his silence spoke volumes. It was an implicit acknowledgement that something was rotten in the state of Migos, and he wasn't about to get dragged into the mess. Siti, predictably, became the target of online vitriol. She was labeled a homewrecker, a Jezebel, the woman who destroyed the Migos. Her social media accounts were flooded with hate messages, threats, and accusations. She deactivated her accounts, disappearing from the public eye, another casualty of the celebrity gossip machine. But the real question remained, what did Cardi have in her arsenal? Was she bluffing, or did she possess concrete evidence of Offset's alleged threesomes with Quavo? The internet buzzed with speculation, theories, and wild guesses. Some believed she had photos, videos, or text messages that would prove her claims. Others thought it was all a carefully orchestrated publicity stunt, designed to boost her own image and damage Offset's career. Whatever the truth, Cardi held all the cards. She had the power to expose Offset's secrets, to humiliate him in front of the world, to potentially destroy his career. But she also had a lot to lose. Dragging Quavo into the drama could damage her own relationships, alienate her from the Migos' fan base, and create even more chaos in her already complicated life. In the end, she chose a different path. Instead of releasing the alleged evidence, she simply let the rumors simmer. She knew that the mere suggestion of Offset's infidelity, the implication of betrayal and hypocrisy, was enough to damage his reputation. She had won the battle without firing a shot. Offset's career took a nosedive. His music sales plummeted, his endorsements dried up, and his public image was tarnished. He became a pariah, a cautionary tale of what happens when you betray the trust of your fans and your loved ones. Cardi, on the other hand, emerged from the drama stronger than ever. She had proven that she was not to be trifled with, that she would not tolerate disrespect, and that she was willing to fight for her own happiness. She had successfully rewritten the narrative, transforming herself from a victim into a victor. As for the Migos, their legacy was forever tainted. The allegations of betrayal and dysfunction cast a shadow over their accomplishments, transforming them from a symbol of brotherhood and success into a cautionary tale of ego, greed, and infidelity. Takeoff's tragic passing only added to the sense of loss and regret, a reminder of what could have been. The saga of Cardi, Offset, and Quavo serves as a stark reminder of the dark side of fame, the pressures of celebrity, and the destructive power of ego. It's a story of love, betrayal, and the price of success, a cautionary tale for anyone who dares to chase the spotlight. Be careful with me indeed.